Hi, I'm Ross Denyer, an actor based out of Los Angeles. I play Mr. Jared Corey, and I'm also a producer on 1805.
Did I not say this would happen?
The project was conceived shortly before George Floyd's murder, and I know for myself and for many others that was a wake-up call, but sadly it was not a revelation for most people. It was, in some ways, it was sort of a last straw, but it was just one of many injustices. And I think what makes 1805 I think very relevant right now is that it looks at, through a prism of 21st century filmmakers, it looks at how rooted in the origins of this country discrimination and objectification of humanity, how deep it goes.
Out to write Congress. That's what I should do.
Mr. Jared Corey was a challenging character to play, challenging just in terms of the subject matter and being someone who owns other people. I think how I tried to make Mr. Jared Corey different from, say, other interpretations or representations of slave masters was, and this is largely due to Dan's script and sort of the uniqueness of it, was to show a man who's trying to be ruthless and trying to exert his will on the people he owns, treating them as property, but really failing to do that. I just tried to put myself in the mindset of someone who has inherited all of this wealth and property and is terribly afraid of being found out to be a fraud, of being perceived as weak or incapable of handling what's been given to him. And I think that fear, that embarrassment, motivates a particular kind of maliciousness in Mr. Jared Corey. It was very important to us that we surround ourselves with a dedicated cast and crew and really create an ensemble piece. 1805 is pretty unusual, I think, as short films go, just for being so large in scope, such a massive cast of characters, including, cast and extras are probably 20 or 30 people on camera at various times.
This is not how we run things here on this farm. Am I heard? Wait until Mother hears of this. She's not so sweet as I spoil you. A lot of you. Run! Run!
That is the indie spirit, and that is what I love about being on a film set. And people are not there for a payday. They're there because they believe in the work that they're doing, and they're convinced that they're contributing towards something worthy of this collective effort. And that just fills me with joy to be in a situation like that, with people like that who are putting their all into it. And as an actor, as a producer, that's what I live for.
Do you want to do one more without it?
I guess no, like we can.
No, we did this after we had one that was good already.
I'm not sure if I was.
All right, we'll do one more without the fall.
Without the fall.
Yeah, just so we have it in case we don't want to use it.
No fall.
No fall, but the fall was amazing. We got it.
Good.
But if you do fall,
I will.
But if you fall, everyone keep with it.
Making independent film is never easy. And I just feel like there were so many obstacles in our way on top of that. I mean, doing a period drama on a very small budget, but when you have that great group of people surrounding you, it's amazing what you're able to accomplish. Prejudice can show itself in very overt ways, and it can show itself in very subtle ways. And I think one of the great things about this project and about hearing people's stories and the research that I've done, the conversations I've had with friends, with other filmmakers, has just been an eye-opener in terms of just how pervasive racism is.
Have you no thoughts towards justice, sir?
This ain't about justice, boy. It's about property.
You realize that people growing up in this country whose, their great-grandfathers, great-great-grandfathers and grandmothers were enslaved, it's really not that far away. And I think that persecution lives on, and I think it seeps in to it's just rooted in our culture, and sadly I don't think it's going anywhere. I think the good thing that's come out of, I think, an increased awareness in 2020 and 2021 is that we can't just look away from it. So being involved in a project like 1805 in a small way, I hope it contributes to a more honest appraisal of not just who we are as a country today, but where we've been, where we've come from. And I hope it just stands as a great short film, as an insight into what we're capable of as humans, for better and for worse.